There's much to like in this seductively disturbing first novel by Gillian Flynn, and if you happen to have already read Gone Girl like I have, you will spot the early signs of the monstrous werewoman Amy Dunn in the DNA of some of the small town head cases in Wind Gap. Sharp Objects reads like a dark modernist fairy tale. The main character, journalist Camille Preaker, at one point even wishes she could be Sleeping Beauty so as to remain in a dream state all the time. With her numerous linguistic-inspired scars, Preaker is sort of a goth, psych version of Bradbury's Illustrated Man. Each word tells a story, and in the actual story, each word highlights to underscore her emotional state. With her whole body covered in scars, and still suffering from a childhood that ended the day her younger sister died, Preaker is unsurprisingly damaged both inside and out. Even admitting early on that she's just a second-rate journalist, digging up inconsequential stories like some beleaguered minor. At the least, she was covering inconsequential fluff until she's sent back to her hometown of Wind Gap, where two teen girls have been killed and gruesomely had their teeth extracted. As she pursues leads, led by the hand literally and figuratively by her 13-year-old half-sister Emma, a charismatically cruel junior high monsterette and done frontrunner who uses her popularity like a meat cleaver on those who displease or offend her. I was aware this book had been adapted into an HBO limited series when I picked it up, but I'd been meaning to read it since checking out Gone Girl back in 2013. It's always cool to look back and see an author's first work, which often contains so many clues to their future literary crimes, so to speak. But I also enjoy Flynn's writing style, particularly her attention to details and the way she portrays a character's complex psychosis. Even though this book is a mystery, it's not the disposable airport reading type that you see mounted up on shelves. This is the kind of book you savor and one you won't forget easily. Like Stephen King puts it in his review on the back cover, it sits there in your mind like a hissing snake. But there were missed opportunities. For one, can it even be called a mystery if you already know who done it on page 30? I think it's telegraphed pretty clearly that the mother is up to something. And sure enough, she's implicated in the murders. It's equally unsurprising that Amma is also the likely culprit. What with her obsession with watching the suffering caged pigs at the town slaughterhouse. But I found that once Preaker was off partying with Amma, then cozying up to the 18-year-old hot guy, also an obvious red herring, the book was quickly running out of steam. As though sensing this, Flynn wraps things up pretty quickly with the arrest of the mother. Preaker adopts Amma and takes her back to Chicago, who then kills another teen girl out of jealousy. The really strange thing is this dark turn is written as though it was outlined, but then never fleshed out in the narrative. Like Flynn, just decided at the last second to add it in. The novel also has severe logical strains. I never bought, for instance, that a 13-year-old girl could convince her three friends to go along with killing two classmates in such a calculated, cold-blooded manner. Then in the end, when Preaker pretty much knows her mother has committed the murders, or at least had had a hand in them, she inexplicably goes home to her and allows the woman to give her medicine, which she damn well knows is poisoned. Look, you can't pin every bad decision a character makes on poor survival instincts, unless the killer is wearing a hockey mask and the victims are nubile screaming co-eds. Bizarre story choices aside, this is a novel worth checking out. Having read my share of mysteries, thrillers, where the plot revolves around some sensational global threat, it was a nice change of pace to read something that's more localized. Sometimes the greatest darkness is in the hearts of small towns, or in the memories of a traumatic childhood.